It's Cleaver time.
Global strat.
The Slark yeeting did not go well for 23 Savage though, but I guess here there's not quite as much ground targeted stuff that he needs to be worried about.
Classic putting all our hopes on the mid players. Like, I definitely agree. Like, these are signature heroes for a reason, right? Everyone's just gonna blame them or praise them if they win or lose.
Punishing 23 Savage a lot.
Be aggressive.
I didn't.
Be
No.
aggressive. Be aggressive. Game 2 underway with my boy Cap in SVG.
Almost there.
Oh boy. Don't really know how to follow that up. Panel's having way too much fun.
That's what Ice Cream does. You give Neil a pint and it all goes to his head. He gets out of control.
I'm fairly certain he had a different kind of pint the way he was acting up there.
No, that's the one I was talking about, the pint in the green room. I wasn't talking about the one on stage.
Oh, Jabz. All right, apparently we're going to start this game. Didn't Nigma 5-ban and get first blood last game?
First blood.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, and they got the
got it.
stat for Miracle too?
That's just too easy.
Do not fight.
I feel like this is another pretty solid draft by Nigma.
Yeah.
I feel like they were also the best IO Slark team back in that patch when it was IO Slark. There were a couple teams that were really good at it, but this was one of the scariest because you have GHIO, probably the best IO in the world historically. And you have Miracle, who's one of the better aggressive laning carries, in my opinion. He knows how to really push an advantage and just abuse offlaners. There were a lot of IO Slark games that these guys they won the game off of just this lane. IO Gyro up there as well. So I'm expecting great things from this duo in terms of the laning phase. And then if you can transition that into playing with IO Lesh in this game, this Talon draft might be a little slow to come online. Again, I feel like a lot depends on what happens mid. Last time Mikoto had a pretty good laning phase, but they weren't really able to transition it into shutting anything on that Nigma side down. Could be a similar story here. I think Mikoto will probably do fine. It's just a question of what happens at that, because he has a tiny and silencer to play with, which is not really the best supports at playing around in Ember's tempo. There's not the greatest in terms of follow-up spells. You can maybe gank the Lesh here with a tiny rotation, but then you're leaving Jabz in a solo lane versus an IO Slark, which is pretty terrifying. There's a lot of destruction that can happen in this laning phase for Talon that they have to be wary of. Just gotta push through it.
You talking about the historic player-hero combinations on the side of Nigma and Talon. They may not have such a same kind of high praise, but their most successful hero has probably been Q's Tiny.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This guy has been a monster on this hero for the last year. So we'll see whether or not they could put something together, because I agree that it is not the lineup that feels easy to make moves with.
It's not super straightforward, but that's where Tiny shines. Like when you need a hero that's going to create some play action for you in a lineup where you otherwise don't have it, I'm taking Tiny to do that. I feel like every time. The second this hero gets blink, I feel like the game just changes. All of a sudden, every team fight's very straightforward. You blink, you stun, you toss them back. Tiny Airlines, first class ticket. Easy.
Man, those flights have been getting mighty expensive lately.
They really are, man. Inflation.
MC?
It hurts. As this
He's
meta
dead.
hurts.
Surely he's dead. And
+2.
+2, almost +4. Kuro only barely able to stay alive through those last couple of hits.
It's a good kill here. You want to get 23 off to a good start on this Terrorblade.
Oh,
and there's that IO Slark going to work early. Orba Corrosion Rush for Miracle. Just punishing the double melee lane down here.
You just ran him down.
They did get the equilibrium decently far back, but not back enough.
Looks like one of those situations where you give the support kill, and obviously it's very bad, but at the same time, Jabz he's got the creep wave close to his tower. He's soloing it up right now. So.
I mean, he's doing okay, but you got to remember this Miracle Slark got first blood, and that's his second Agi stack as well. He is very far ahead in the net worth department on this Slark with absolute free farm CS and aggressive itemization.
Toss back the IO, but he has the tether to be able to get back to the safety of Miracle.
Good courier kills happening.
Yeah. The Orb Corrosion that you've already mentioned, and then the early net worth, he could get a really fast boots, treads. I don't know how a double melee lineup deals with that.
That's why this lane can just be explosive for Nigma, which is what you want out of the Isle Slark. When you can play aggressive and abuse the snowball, just power to that mid game on an entirely different level. And he has boots already flying out. Top lane still going pretty decent for Talon here, as well as mid. They're winning both technically. And of course you get a little stolen int. Never hurt anybody. MC wishing he had a couple mantles up here.
How's mid lane going? 20-6 for Sumail, 19-2 for Mikoto.
He's a little ahead of net worth though, so winning out some of these regen trades. Not too bad when you're versus Slark's. Hero is a hard laner to deal with the chain lightning spam.
Sumail Slark especially. I mean, Mikoto
King for a reason.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
All these
Mikoto
mids, man.
Nice toss back.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Dark Pact only helps Miracle so much, and they do manage to get the kill on him. So Q finds the opening to be able to even out this laning phase in bottom lane that was looking to be pretty rough. I thought it was going to really start snowballing against him.
That's a huge kill. So much room for Jabz to just power on towards his Midas, and you're slowing down them.
Get him too. Why not?
2 for 1. The net of destiny. Not usually a spell we think of as dominating the lane here.
No, not at all.
They are making it work. KuroKy flirting with danger. This is a tough support matchup. That last word really messes with you. Can never dive out from it.
I think the best part about that IO kill is it's right as Miracle is coming back up, so you prolong the time that this duo is operating independently of each other.
And he's just not even going back there. Just goes towards mid with the bottle refill. Trying to run it at Mikoto, who is not 6 yet. Maybe didn't expect this gank.
Can anybody help? It doesn't look like it.
That's a good gank right there.
There were TPs available, but I guess nobody felt like they could stop that aggression.
And meanwhile, Jabz had to walk back to base off of those bottom skirmishes. So this move just goes completely unpunished on GH because Miracle's still free farming down here.
You could set up for the 6-minute power rune. Q is busy pulling the wave, so he won't be able to bodyguard it.
Who are you gonna tether in this mid game, Cap? Are you gonna tether the king on the king of mid heroes, Slark? Or are you gonna tether Miracle God on his signature Slark? I don't know if it's his signature, but whatever.
Yeah, I thought his signature was Andy, except to what you said last game.
Well, in this game, it's his signature. Who are you tethering?
Sumail.
Wrong. You tether Miracle so Kuro doesn't kick you. That was Matumba's mistake.
He played carry IO and didn't tether to Miracle enough.
That's why they didn't want to play. That's why they want to play Core IO. Because you play Core IO on this team, you're just sweating the whole time. Oh God,
no.
Who do I tether?
I mean, I say Sumail just because I think IO Leshrak hits a nice mid game much more than Slark does.
I mean, not if he's getting kills down here.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a lot of stacks the way this is racking up. Jeez. Miracle, is he going to be able to get the second one? He is. Double goes down. He dies to the creep afterwards, but who cares? He got a double kill. He got all that experience. He got 2 more stacks on him.
Oh, this IO Slark lane is really doing work, and GH is going to be able to hold the whole wave down there as well. I mean, 23 is doing fine up here. He's kind of mostly free farming with a kill. Doing pretty well in this matchup.
Is he gonna be able to? I'm watching GH almost died in the
struggling down here.
Help! Help!
No, Miracle will get all this. He's having a great game here, and Sumail's having a great one as well. Both these cores at the top of the chart by a decent margin. So GH is going to have his pick of who he tethers to. Just create havoc all over the map. I mean, he's really high level on this Isle too. He's almost level 6. You can see an early reload into top with how much damage is being done. 23 is just dead.
Talon is just
gone. Sumail's like, what the hell, man? Why did you kill him so fast? I walked all the way up here.
What's the point of me being here now?
I'm gonna steal your wave. That's what you deserve.
Take my kill, I take your creeps.
This is another game that's looking pretty good for Nigma.
Honestly, this laning phase has...
Why has everybody been flaming this team? They look great.
Yeah.
Championship form. Nice little
MC
Easter.
TPing out, and there's no disables. Yikes.
Haste rune wasted here from Mikoto. And that sucks because that's a really good rune at this point in the game. Might have been able to connect with a dude bottom or something that's pretty high value. Instead, just goes nowhere. And you're going to have relocation up right now. 8.5 minutes here for GH. You might even just be able to early relocate on one of these lanes if Talon aren't thinking about it.
That is crazy good timing.
Yep.
Because normally they suffer an experience, right? Because you're, as an IO, you're just constantly sitting in lanes. Your carry is like under leveled, but they're both level 6.
To the benefit of all the kills. Just get so much XP.
He was really that greedy, huh? Trying to body block Q to make sure he doesn't take away the bottle refill. Tosses him away. Nice play by Q there. So he actually gets that bounty rune and gets away. His life intact.
I mean, Talon are looking around this area, but I don't think there's a window here. I don't think you have enough early damage to punch through this IO sustain, even just with a wand. Nighttime vision for Slark. They're going to get the D-ward off that play as well. And then just farm up this triple stack that GH set the plate with. Of course, both of them won it, but only one can reign supreme. Now you're looking at the end of this nighttime interval, but MC took this tower top. Both the cores for Nigma are online. You're going to have to start punching back here. If you're Talon, 10-minute rune, the place to do it, because you need this power rune for Ember right now.
Must have kill. And Slark will end up dying, so Talon with a successful rotation. AD for Mikoto, and they can go for the IO maybe.
Yeah, he reloaded for that, and he did not get it. So GH coming back to mid.
He's going to be able to get the tether away onto Kuro, who started walking back at Phoenix to make that tether stretch a little bit farther.
That's a lot of levels for these Talon supports, though. They were struggling a bit, but now they're both level 5, and there's still a tome flying out. So you're going to maybe have this global up, maybe some extra tiny points. That was a rough death for Sumail. You got to kind of expect this 10-minute rune rotation. There's no other play that Talon can really be making.
Such a fast diffusal blade.
Oh yeah, I don't know if Mikoto's ready for this one, but can he land the pounce?
I think he's got a remnant out. Tries to hit him after the slight, and he is able to jump away to the remnant he preemptively laid out. Because if he doesn't have a remnant out, it's actually super dangerous because that diffusal blade's low, right? The inhibit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
That is
attack.
one downside for this Nigma lineup, though. Their stuns are a bit lacking.
Yeah.
They do not have the best initiation or setup until that Slark Ags, which I think is pretty much a necessity at some point in this game to maintain the lockdown. You could go that Atos Underlord build, but honestly, it's just not what this pick is here for. This pick is here to buy the ores and buff up the 2 other cores and make sure you have the early Greaves for that IO tether pair so you can get early Roshans and objectives in this game. Like I don't want MC going Atos. It's just not what your lineup's designed to do.
Yeah.
You'll get it later, but it means in some of these early skirmishes,
Radiant's bottom
it might be a little
tower is
annoying
under
that Miracle
attack.
can't snowball with this early diffusal as much as he wants to.
Radiant's
MC
bottom
using the
tower
Dark Rift
has
to
fallen.
kill the Siege Wagon wave. So I thought that was a cute play.
I mean, Mikoto still got the last hit with that DD, so he's
did.
not too sad. And as far as Talon's lockdown, it's all about getting more levels on this Ember, so he has those chains points up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Visibility.
Power rune on the other side. Invis rune for Ollie. Or Q, rather.
Game is definitely slowed down for Nigma. They did not get to transition what was a pretty good laning phase for their cores into that really high tempo IO pressure that I think they would have wanted to. And now Talon finding a little opening.
And he can't dive away because the silencer is the big counter to Phoenix in that situation. If you use the dive, then you'll just come right back because you'll be silenced from last words. So
6 int for Ollie.
not too bad.
Meanwhile,
Radiant's middle
Jabz
tower is
quietly
under attack.
farmed his way to the top of the net worth chart on this Might is Doom. A little TP top to try and join this MC kill, but he's too fast. A big man lumbers away.
The armored slug. 6-6, 13 minutes in here in game 2. Nigma Galaxy, who went 1-1 just earlier today against Nouns, already got a win over Talon, and are looking to make it 2. It'll be their first series win of this tournament, if they can manage to do so. But even just a 1-1 makes their run back into potential area where they could go in as the top 4 team.
Man,
I mean,
you're
it's
really
a long,
stringing that
long
one
road.
out.
Don't get me wrong, but
I don't know. I mean, the Miracle Rampage from last game, that's a spiritual series win. You know, we'll give it to him on that. This is round 2. Does MC overstayed his welcome? I believe he has.
just a little bit.
He has been up here for a long time, making Talon work for it. But I think they're happy to clean up that kill, because that's a lot of extra gold for this Tiny who's working towards that blink, which is going to enable this entire Talon lineup. There's a reason they pick this Q Tiny so much, because it lets them get away with these greedy, clunky lineups that otherwise don't have the jump and initiation. Because all of a sudden you get that blink, you just run around the map, you blink toss someone into your ball. TV's hitting them, Doom's hitting them. You can global on some revo save. It brings the whole lineup together. So you do not want to be feeding any extra gold this Tiny. You don't have to. And this is your Bloodstone timing for Slark, which they haven't gotten a lot done with here, right? I mean, he's stealing some farm. That's great.
Yeah.
Drop a rune for him.
He hasn't
But they
done
haven't
much
gotten that fight
yet, but this is kind of where it starts peaking, right? The IOLesh.
This is when it's pretty damn strong. You can get on top of heroes. That's the issue, though.
Yeah, they just need good dark rifts. They need good pits to allow Sumail to be able to follow this up, and they've got one on 23 here. They hit the stun, slow him down. The global silence stops the Split Earth from coming out. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
nice global. I don't think you're going to use it in the next minute and a half here, and that was a Split Earth land. You don't choose to do that. It's going to force Nigma to just claim this tier 1 instead of 23's
Dire's
life.
bottom tower has fallen.
And Talon will continue to farm towards their Tiny blink.
Ember actually cut the wave mid because the Siege Wagon is pushing in. So he's trying to create pressure somewhere else on the map where Nigma are going for that big tower push. Not a bad idea.
Ember's definitely had a slow game. This is a later Maelstrom than he would like. It's going to give some rain to this Nigma lineup. Sumail with the early plate mail as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A lot of tank ability here. They just want to force the issue, and they are indeed forcing it. You get an early Aegis out of this somehow, Miracle's just going to go ham. He's already poking you.
Dire's middle tower
Echo
has
Saber,
fallen.
I kind of like that. He had a pretty damn good game, so you can delay this Ags a little bit more. It's not going to hurt you. There's no early objective taking from Talon that's going to punish you not having the latch to exert map pressure.
Dire are scanning.
You can always disassemble it too.
Yeah, he's
Go on the
eventually going to
Axe
turn it
plus
into
Mage Slayer.
yeah, Mage Slayer. And that's, I mean, that's a powerful pickup, especially against the Ember Spirit.
Oh yeah. So I don't mind Nigma playing a slow game. I almost think the emphasis is on Talon to make Slane happen with this tiny blink. And they agree. Instant smoke off Q getting that delivered. This is the big fight they want. They want to get a good toss back, abuse their Doom BKB, abuse this meta that's up for 23. If this fight happens around the Roche pit, all the better for it. Nigma have read this game to a T and have dodged it completely.
Yeah, they even had the scan there on the upper river point, thinking that, okay, there's probably smoked and they might be invading our triangle. Not actually the case. Talon instead went for the kill farther north of that, but point is, Nigma did have the idea correct. Now they aim to defend this tower. Talon might just be forcing things a bit.
This is a hard go if Nigma are ready for it.
They get a nice toss back onto the Underlord. That kill made. Oh no! The heal came in just in time and the relocate. Still though, an IO without the Leshrac combo there. Oh, they need a Sunder. He gets it off, but at the same time, is 23 going to be able to live with this extra bit of health? Nice for the Hurricane. That was beautiful from Jabz. Miracle though, he's got another pounce and he latches onto him. He's going to collect on that kill. 23 falls.
You can hide. Not from Miracle Slark. And that was the ready I'm talking about. GH is just too good of a healer. That's what GH stands for.
Good heals.
Good heals, my friend. What a perfect reload save. That reload save was so fast on the tether. Ollie didn't even have time to global. He's like, oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, this Underlord's just gone. Why do I have to global?
It was a great toss back.
You had to global, son.
And Talon, like Q plays, right? The Sunder going down, use the Hurricane to push 23 like they're saving each other, but it's still not good enough.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Fishy,
attack.
fishy. And that was that IO mech as well. He just got it delivered for that fight.
Oh no, Mikoto really wanted to finish off this tower. Now I have a feeling it's gonna get denied instead.
Radiant's middle
One
tower
might even
has
say,
been
Cap,
denied.
that
Dire's
the
top tower
stars
is under
are
attack.
aligning.
No, stop this.
I mean, that's their team motto. It's like that's not even a pun in some sense. I'm just promoting.
Yes, I know. That's why I don't like it. If it was a pun, I would have enjoyed it.
Well, what's Talon's motto? Claw is sharp? I don't know. Like, what? It's not my fault they don't have one. Maybe they do. I don't know it.
I didn't want to say this on podcast, but I hate promoting the team brands. There are little hashtags. Hashtag stars align. Yeah.
Hashtag the claw.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
What is SMGs moving under fire?
I mean,
I don't get that one.
it's still none of them compete with Arm the Rebels. That's my favorite for sure.
True. It's applicable in so many
Dire's
areas.
are scanning.
However, we are getting sidetracked as that discussion means Miracle has finished Ags. And I feel like that is a green light for this Nigma team because now you have the consistent lockdown. You can tether him into the fight as well to give him the overcharge on the hits.
I think it was literally the only thing missing for their lineup,
Yes.
right?
And Talon are making another smoke move. Oh, Miracle.
Do not get caught off right now, sir.
He's going
Oh, he goes in! Oh, Miracle, quick reaction though. Gets off his ultimate. A nice toss away from Q. Gets
From
Jabz out of
behind.
danger. And they're burning through this Tiny. He's going to die pretty quickly. 23 on the high ground with the meta, but they don't have a way to stop these heroes. Nigma just reset pretty easily, and Talon are just going to have to accept the L. And probably, I think Nigma... I don't know, I guess they're not really a Roche team, but I feel like there is nothing, like Talon can't contest them.
I mean, they're a decent Roche team. With the overcharge on these heroes, it's going to melt pretty fast. Yeah, that's just Roshan Aegis for Miracle. He can play even more aggressive. Yeah, he has played well this series. And when Miracle's playing well, this is what this lineup is built around. This is how this team's supposed to function. Around this guy just destroying games, buffing him up. Fast fingers. Maybe on vacation, but he was still working it out. Saves himself nice and limber when he was needed most.
The Radiant.
And Nigma definitely needed him. Their roster changes really did not work out for them this season.
And honestly, I think at this point, you have Pipe, you have Crimson on this Underlord. You still have that egg that can cause interference in the fight, and the mech on GH. I wouldn't mind just tethering into this Slark in the fight and abusing Aegis with the overcharge. Let Sumail just run around on his own with Bloodstone and kind of play the tanky frontliner, right? Because he's going to get
Radiant's
buffed by
top
Pipe and
tower
Crimson.
is
He's
under
not
attack.
that susceptible to getting bursted in a game like this.
Sure, yeah.
Just let Miracle go ham. And I don't think Talon have a good answer to it right now. They are struggling to find a way to control this Slark. It's just doom, but Aegis prevents that. So now I think you just have to split the map with your Talon. Abuse the Terrorblade
Radiant's
illusions.
top tower is
Abuse the
under
fact that
attack.
Mikoto is still mostly uncatchable. Outside of it, Miracle really wants to try and set up on him with some pounce out of the trees. It is an option.
And maybe the only highlight for Talon is the fact that Mikoto can always stay out on map pretty deep.
Yeah, once he has BKB, that's
Radiant's
just
top tower
100%
has
guaranteed
fallen.
for pretty much the entire game. Miracle will be going Shadowblade, which I like. Then he can play alone on the map, and you can reload the Lesh into that fight. That's a way they can maintain map control. Sets up everything just super nicely here.
Jabz trying to put that Hurricane to use.
I mean, this is just free pokes, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do here? I guess you can go to the IO pair, which is what Talon are looking to do. This is a pretty nice move.
Perfect timing too, right as they went on to Mikoto. Unfortunately, they do not have the damage to quickly kill the IO, and he managed to just TP away. They both do.
Oh, that's pretty depressing for Talon.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Just still being gone on. This time he doesn't have the Hurricane. Has to use the BKB on himself.
Miracle in. I don't know if that was the play, but
Dire's bottom tower
don't
is
think
under
so.
attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
sometimes these little pokes work out. You know, it's a forced error. Leaves Sumail to deal some extra tower damage. He has Regen Rune and bots up in 5 anyway. There's a lot of global map presence for this Nigma lineup. Underlord can join the fight. Sumail can bots in. You can reload somebody else.
Is it the
Kuro can
style?
jump the waves.
What is it about the fact that both games, Anti-Mage and Slark, Miracle's played a hero that Talon just cannot seem to really stop? There seems to be something missing in their draft that Nigma have exploited really well with their carry picks.
Just a lack of control. They have like some minor control. I think Talon's used to playing in a lot of these games where their cores just outscale the enemies, and they can let the fight come into them. But in these games, I just don't think that's 100% true. And I think Nigma are abusing the fact that these Talon lamps are a bit slower and they're getting the Roshans. Like, Miracle's had a lot of Aegises in this series.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe you have a Doom or something, but if your control is limited and you're playing into a bunch of Aegises, it just makes the game impossible. And this is just vintage Nigma. They're just buying all the buffs from Miracle, throw it on top of him, let him go ham. It's pretty hard to control this Slark when he has Pipe and Crimson and double heals and a Lincoln's being built on mind control and all the Aegises in the world. It's a lot. Go for the easier target, the Slug. The Slug has been salted.
Can you channel the Dark Rift if you...
Maybe
GH gets him out again. No way! They just do not have the damage to deliver the finishing blow. 23 going for a desperate TP out. That is not going to work. Ollie, a little bit more reasonable. Will be able to. Jabz is going to get run down next, though. Pops the BKB. But,
he's gone. He's just gone here.
Yeah, he's going to use that time. Hurricane down. Pounce. The whole Miracle can follow you just as easily.
You can delay it, but you're going down eventually, these pounces. Man, these GHIO saves are so good for so long, too.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrifying. Like, the globals are just... I don't even see them coming. I'm not sure how you're supposed to global a reload out of a gate. It's like a save on a save. Literally call the ambulance, but not for me.
So MC used his Dark Rift to his allies for them to be able to pass through.
Yeah.
And then they jumped through, and then GH was able to get the relocate out. That's pretty sick.
And that was a fast reload out of the gate.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the crazy part for me is all of these fights. It's like, even if they kill MC, the fight is still terrible for them. So we dropped the gate.
They all run through.
They all run through.
Reload goes off. You get the mech heal, and Global's just not there. So he's just out of dodge.
That's really cool.
I mean, I think Global's on cooldown, so maybe if you even have it, it doesn't change it. But that's a tough fight once that type of double save action happens. And man, this team is looking pretty damn good in these games.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna like win the tournament. You know, I said that last game. But
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say that. Well, I already said that.
I mean, we all know the franchise has already been turned around.
Is under attack.
Now you're just marching towards those dubs. Haters be damned.
It's inevitable. They're only up by 4K, but it feels so much more. It feels like Talon can't fight back.
No, it feels very difficult. They need a really good fight where this Terrorblade gets to sit and be a turret and just hit everybody forever. And if that happens, they do have the damage. They can also take these fights off of the tiny displacement. We haven't really seen it too much.
Yeah.
The reload save's been really annoying, but in theory, if you toss someone in and you global, that person's probably dead. I say probably because it hasn't happened, but there's a goddamn lot of healing going on.
Slark, the only one. Hasn't done any healing.
Here's another nighttime smoke. Miracle, thinking about it.
Use gold given.
Decides to show mercy.
And if this game feels and looks impossible for Talon to be able to fight back, it seems Dota Plus agrees. They're saying like it's a 90-10 game right now. So at 4,000 net worth lead, it's a bit deceptive, I guess.
I don't know if it's 90-10. That seems a little severe. I'd maybe say it's like 85-15.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
90-10.
You're gonna make a big deal about 5% difference?
All right, fine. Maybe it's like 87-13. 90-10 is just ridiculous, dude.
The worst part is that I rounded it up. It was 87-13.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna get it right, at least get it right, you know? Come on, man.
Yeah, but 87-13 doesn't sound good. 90-10. People
Well,
understand.
after that kill, it's probably 90-10. What is it now, actually? Probably. Nope, 87. It really likes this 87. It's flatlined. There is no hope for Talon.
Well, Talon's about the flatline.
Dire's middle tower is
Just no
under
control.
Yeah, Miracle's Ops into the base. Hey, how's it going? Ops back out again.
You just gotta get a toss back at some point. Somebody needs to come into your clutches. 10 seconds for this Doom respawn. Shiva's up for Sumail. You have one for Jabz as well. I mean, the items are here for Talon. It just doesn't feel like they have enough damage to cut through the heal.
My favorite thing about what you just said is you say, well, it's pretty much only toss back that can win them the fight.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to come in clutch. like anybody else.
Oh,
can
look at
do
this,
it.
though. The reload bottomed the far, but they're coming back.
Oh my God, what was that? No, but even worse, they couldn't actually kill him. The BKB goes out to the mail with a bloodstone. They have to keep their distance. They have the depth shroud there from Miracle as well. And he managed to get the pounce on in 23. They're trying to get him away from this situation. They got the Doom out onto the Slark. The Slark's dead. Coming in from behind Mikoto. They're going to go for the Phoenix next. 23 finally died, yes, but Sumail and MC are left without their teammates. Is it possible for Mikoto to fight these two?
No.
Okay.
But he can run away.
Run away.
And I feel like you take that as a dub. You got the Slark kill.
Yeah, 3-for-3 exchange.
I mean, you much rather have Terrorblade live, but you got as good a Thunder you're going to get there. Full HP on that Slark. He gets finished off by Mikoto on the backside. I thought that was just going to be a insta-pop on the IO on the reload back, at least.
Yeah, it was both concerning, the start of that fight, the fact that they couldn't actually kill the IO, but, you know, they won the fight in the long, or at least went even.
What is it?
Fight.
Hashtag the claw is strong.
The clash.
I don't even know what that means.
Why is the claw? Why not the Talon?
I mean,
The
their
Talon is sharp.
Their hashtag can't be the Talon, something that their name is Talon. You know,
Hashtag sharp talons.
you can't be Nigma, hashtag the Nigma Alliance.
Because
It doesn't
talons
make
are
any
different
sense.
than claws, that's why.
Well, it's a type of claw. You can claw somebody with a talon.
Okay. Clawing talons then. Hashtag.
I'll think about it. I'll think about that.
That was a. Can we talk about that? That was so greedy. The relocate down to bottom lane.
It was a little greedy, the positioning. I think they felt like 10 seconds. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
They just all got smoked on.
Well, now you have an Aghanim Scepter onto Mikoto, who has already been very hard for Nigma to actually do anything about besides ignore him for the most part.
I mean, is he going to go for an Aegis steal or something?
Yeah, he's going to try. He's going to pop the
That's a little
BKB.
early,
He's going to
though.
go around. And he can finish it. He gets it. What? Nice. Well played, Mikoto. I mean, you said somebody has to step it up, and apparently that person is Mikoto.
Okay. I don't know if that should have worked like that because he went in really early. I think you just stopped killing it there and you waited out.
Yeah.
Little lack of discipline from Nigma. They're going to pay a pretty big price as he gets Aegis out of that. That's brutal. That delays this game so much. Aegis is your siege mechanism here. Or at least your mechanism for Miracle to go in the fight, right? Now these fights, you have a window where Ember, number one, Ember can frontline a lot more to give you vision, wear out some of these Slark spells, and number two, you might get the Doom on this Slark. Brutal. Absolutely brutal steal. Somebody has to step up in this game. Mikoto says it will be me.
I like that. He sees that Roshan's low, but not low enough for him to go for the steal. He just starts committing for. He just starts hitting the Roshan.
I mean, once you're in, you're in.
Miracle finding an opening here.
Doesn't have Basher. Jabz should be able to BKB TP.
Yeah, just bye. And the relocate was used for that. So even though BKB on cooldown, I wonder if it's worth considering for Talon to go and try and take a fight around this.
I mean, I think that's worth for the space alone. You're farming up your Terrorblade in this whole period.
Yeah.
What?
I think that's worth it for Jabz.
feel like so that like the 90-10, 85-15, whatever, do you feel like it gets closer to 50-50 the longer the game goes? I mean, in general, that concept is always there, right? Like, if a game goes late enough, it just becomes more of a coin flip. That's what you always told me.
There's some truth to that. You know, past 60 minutes, does net worth mean anything? The answer is yes, but
yes.
I mean, not spiritually. You know,
Spiritually,
the game is even.
Economically, it does mean something, but spiritually.
As a relation to the total amount of gold in the game, any individual's hero's net worth is not as large in impact. So,
I mean, gold is just a construct, man.
It's just a capitalistic ideal. Does it really exist? Are we really human?
Oh no, the two supports. Okay, force staff gets away from one pounce. The second one actually doesn't land. They get an avalanche to kind of cover Ollie a little bit further. Surely he's going to die for this. He didn't get Doom. Oh, he popped out for a second. Miracle quickly disappears into the shadows. Mikoto jumping around like crazy, but does get caught. Hit by the Pit of Malice. Now the Split Earth, but here. He's still okay with the Remnant going out, but he doesn't have anything left. Okay, that's going to be life number 1. Can Talon find an opening here?
They got the egg in the meantime.
Yeah, the egg is down. 23, Big Bad and Golden just running forward in the meta form. Oh, that blink stun was so close to landing on 2, but MC and Sumail both got away from it. Now they're going to turn.
Nice Yules buying time.
Distance away from the 23. They're going to try and go through the gate. Makoto's following him. Makoto's going to chase after him. MC did not go home. He went to top lane. Somehow lost sight of him.
Miracle got a DD somehow in the river and is fighting it below.
This fight is so split. Okay, MC's still dead. I thought maybe Miracle was actually going to kill something on the other side with that DD, but no.
He should have gone back through the gate.
We need to go back.
This is not where I want to be. Take me back through the gate, brothers. He was like, I think he thought his team might have been able to follow and help him out.
What? Why was he? I mean, you know, God bless him for trying to do like the uber efficient play, you know?
I just think it's hilarious you can follow people through the gate. And then they all went through, and then Miracle got a DD in the river. And then suddenly, like, Q's left in the river. He's like, yo, guys, there's a DD Slark down here. Please come back.
Yeah, I thought
really
Miracle was going
dark.
to start tearing things up.
That was a sketchy ass fight, but ultimately it's good for Talon because Miracle has to commit too far and he uses like 2 pounces and an ult and they get nothing off it, and then 23 just shows up, kills an egg, kills an IO. Suddenly you're getting routed if you're Nigma because your support and heals are gone. And look at the net worth right now. Talon are coming back in this game off that Aegis. Another fight, you're trying to force it, but BKB is there. Miracle just, the poke is not as good as it used to be. And utility is starting to come out for Talon. Double 4 staffs up for these supports. You have a full Yules on top of Q that we saw last fight. The stall mechanisms that displace Miracle in these engagements are online. And it's getting spooky because 23 is getting to 6-slot territory. We saw the Daedalus crits from this Terrorblade last fight. They picked this into Lech for a reason because Talon feels like if the game goes really late, Terrorblade just shreds Leshrac. That's what they like about this matchup. He's level 20, Daedalus online, Titan Sliver online.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was looking at it was, how does 23 actually get to hit these heroes? But, like, if Nigma can never fight the Terrorblade, then...
I mean, he gets to hit them by the fact that Nigma's forcing the issue, and they kite out the Slark pounces. And then the supports are overextended. That's the best case scenario for 22 Savage. Outside of you get a toss back, but we just haven't seen the toss backs. It's pretty hard to toss anybody back when it's just Slark running in, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't really want to toss Slark. That's just a free pounce. So this is all about next Roshan. This next Roshan is perhaps the game for these teams. And you have Ags on Jabz. Oh. This AoE Doom could be really problematic in these fights. Because now he doesn't have to try and throw it on this Slark. He doesn't have to try and throw it through the Lincoln Sphere on MC or the Lotus on KuroKy that can get thrown on these cores. Just throw it on yourself and blink in. And suddenly your control is significantly better.
It also makes things a little bit harder to relocate out, similar to like Static Storm, right? You got to be careful with how you use the relocate and then tether in. You don't want to get in that AoE.
If you're talking about a mortal IO player, I would agree with you. But GH is no mere mortal.
That's true.
As we've seen on these reloads, it is the fastest reload in the West. Look at that. That's the face of a man who's played IO for 1,000 too many games.
Those bright shining orbs in those glasses, that wasn't the reflection of the computer screen. Those were little IOs.
It has become his soul. It's all he sees night and day. I have become one with the ball.
Kuro, what is he doing on the low ground there? The rest of his team.
He has buyback. He might just be trying to bait out a jump.
Yeah, it could be. Talon didn't go for it though.
23 Savage buys out for Manta.
Sumail.
This is your roast fight.
Jabz gonna go for it.
That AoE Doom.
He hits him with the Doom, and they've got the meta damage on him. He is just dead. There was no relocate save because
He wasn't close.
He was too far away. He was playing with the Slark.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
These types of fights are not the ones you can be losing because you're losing vision control to Gem, which means you're losing Roche control. Talon have held on long enough in this game that they have struck back, and they have struck back big. Now they're taking the high ground to Nigma.
Dude, this game still says this is a 70-30 game.
Radiant structure.
I mean, I don't know about after that fight.
Yeah, it feels like
I think this AI
very even.
Biased towards Miracle. It heard he was back.
just like it always loves Spectre, it always loves Miracle.
Radiant's middle tower is falling.
Little rats happening though.
Yeah.
Little rat action never hurt anybody through the gate.
Radiant's middle
Come with me this time, brother.
Chains doesn't stop you. Apparently. It's GH.
Only stuns.
I can't believe he hasn't TP'd out. It's like, nah, this is fine. Wait, he's doing this? The shrine's being taken right next to him.
He's got Glimmer.
I guess so.
Not gonna have detection.
Yeah.
His Doom is really scary now. He has the Doom cooldown. He has it in the AoE. He has a ninja gear, so he's just gonna pre-smoke jump in that fight. You're not even gonna see him. And this, like we talked about, there's no real save for this AoE Doom unless you get that really clutch reload. They're gonna have to be really clutch now because, as we saw, that target's also dying a lot faster.
Yeah.
These crits come out from 23. They hurt. Hex finish for MC, another very big item in this game. If you can somehow find the initiation, or even Hex Mikoto when he jumps in, this Ember does not have a Lincoln's. He does not have that instant block, so he's susceptible if he doesn't BKB early. That might just win you the fight.
Global Silence is up again, so if they see an opportunity, go for a pick, they can Global Silence to cover that relocate.
These fights are really just about who gets the jump and who clicks buttons faster. Sometimes it is a quick draw. Full Bloodthorn for Miracle. A lot of damage on this Slark on top of the Penna Edge sword. We are getting into that late game territory where heroes are going to start dying pretty fast if you don't get the saves on time. Oh, refresher for 23. I was about to say, is he full slotted, but he's full slotted twice. This is brutal because I don't think you're killing this Terrorblade through BKB. Now he's got 2 of them.
It's crazy to me that he...
Oh, damn. He's big.
He did that. No boots, no blink dagger. Like, usually, if you drop your boots, it's because you have a swift blink, right?
Does have Hurricane Pike? Maybe he just feels like the fights are going to come to them because their idea is we're going to force the Roche, they're going to have to go into us. If we force the high ground, they're going to have to go into us. Like, Slark has to pounce into me to take the fight. I don't need to chase here. I kind of like that idea.
Scanning.
Once again, Miracle does have a Lincoln's on him, but it won't protect him against that AoE Doom. That's what he's got to be careful for. Mikoto, all that mobility. They see MC is a little bit isolated here. The Global Silence goes out. They're going to start leading into the Underlord. This Global Silence isn't going to cover the relocate very well, though, but maybe the Doom. He goes out, the relocate, they're coming in with the AoE Doom and stopped it. He wasn't able to get the tether timing right there. Sumail is still being covered by the depth shot a little bit. He held up pretty nicely. In fact, the Doom is now dead. 23 is having a hard time beating on top of these heroes. Too many stuns. He gets off. Oh, nice use of the refresher there. Gets off a Sunder, a fresh BKB, a fresh life to be able to work with, but he's being kited now. The BKB is gone. The scythe goes out. A toss away over the side, over to Mikoto. Gets him a little bit of distance, but Nigma are not slowing down. They're running down these heroes one by one. A TP out from 23. Oh, he was stopped by something. It looks like he turns around and kills the Phoenix before MC and the rest of Nigma bring him down. That was a really bad fight for Talon.
Super clutch BKB by Sumail. That AoE Doom goes in, but he got BKB off on the Lesh. It prevents a huge amount of damage. The pits from NC were also just blocking off that whole ramp. Talon couldn't get in. It took Jabz forever to get in the fight. It took forever to get this TB deep in where he's hitting the same target that the Doom is going on. And that heal eventually comes out. GH, the reload's not there, but the heals are. Bloodstone comes online, and suddenly you are looking down the barrel of a second Slark to compete with your second Terrorblade. Really good fight for Nigma here. It does cost him an IO buyback, but I mean, you get Roshan off that, and that is a big Roshan to get.
It would also be a really sick game for Aghanim Scepter on Slark, right?
I mean, it's pretty damn nice. Yeah, he has Strength Blink too.
I mean, he's only dying to the Terrorblade's damage, so he just nihilism.
And what a huge fight to win. And that was Talon trying to be the aggressors there, where you were talking about this TV is pretty slow to get in a fight like that.
Yeah.
I thought the way they wanted to take the fight was go in the pit and make Nigma go into you.
Yeah.
That type of fight does not favor Talon with their itemization and fighting through that pit of malice. Just destroyed them.
Yeah, if you want to do something like that, I think, yeah, the Blink Dagger build, yeah, you can do that, but...
Imagine you can Swift Link on the Lesh when that Doom is out. You might kill... But the problem is, even if you kill Nigma there, they have a tier 2, they have buybacks. It's just not the place you want to fight if you're Talon.
Yeah, that entire setup of that fight was pretty bad for Talon. They just seemed to get so eager. They were finally winning this game.
Yeah, it's like, we're killing them, guys. We're killing them well. Yeah, it's killing them by their tier 2. And you used the Jabz buyback as well. He was nowhere close to getting back in that engagement, which means Aegis to the Slark on top of Shard and a Refresher Shard for Mind Control. So that's double Hex potential. Absolutely devastating if you landed on any of these Talon cores.
Yeah, Mikoto's got to be a lot more careful with the way he's jumping around.
And he bought Aeon. He is aware of how fast he can die.
Cross back. Okay. Global Silence once again going to be used with the Doom, and the silence lasts long enough. But that's just life number 1 anyway.
He's going to come back into Doom.
Q, can he stop this? He comes back into the Doom. They have the Depth Shroud there as well. Sumail just managed to get the reset, and there goes. Relocate goes down. Mikoto chasing after these heroes. They still have a little bit more Doom timing left, though. And 23 is right on top of him. Going to toss back onto the IO as well. The IO is still inside that Doom, but the damage, they're healing up too much. 23 just cannot output enough damage fast enough. GH finally goes down, but the egg is going to explode on top of him, and he's dead. Sumail's running down Q next, and Talon, that is then just all out of gas at this point in time.
And the gate to the tier 4. No one else went through. That looked pretty good for Talon with the double Dooms. You toss the IO into it. MC wasted double Hex on that Ember Aeon, not expecting it. And still, the amount of heal from this Nigma lineup is absolutely absurd. Double Sunray doing huge amounts of work there. On top of how much this IO and Lesh are healing with the Bloodstone and the Amp. And
I mean, I think the Depth Shroud and then both the units being inside of the Depth Shroud tethered, that just sounds so broken.
This lineup is absolutely disgusting in terms of the late game state potential, and they are making it work. Now you're stuck in a base defense scenario where you don't have Terrorblade for another 40, and even when he comes up, he's only going to have 1 round of spells. That Refresher on cooldown. Now look at the healing in this. This is a monstrous amount of heal for a lineup. 50,000.
Does Slark not get the points for the Depth Shroud heal?
Of course he doesn't. He's a carry. Carries don't heal.
Okay.
They tactically divert damage.
Is it? Looking for a toss back. They get it onto MC. They're just trying to pull heroes as deep as possible. Miracle once again ready with the Depth Shroud every single time. Beautiful avalanche though.
Air went up in 2. They're trying to stall this fight for 22 to get back, and he will get back
him
here.
Inside. Q ready to go again soon. Jump in.
Stunned him.
Gotta be careful of that egg though. They got caught in the pounce, and Mikoto's dead. 23 has to back away here. The avalanche covers him. Okay, the Doom's gonna be used, but again, this Doom, he just cannot stay alive. Even though he gets on top of some of these heroes. Sumail now popping the BKB. And this is going to be Talon run out of this game. 23 thinking about what do I do here? Do I sunder him to keep him alive? Do I focus on my own life? Either way, I don't think it matters much.
Too many stacks for Miracle Man. 40 Essence shift stacks plus 20 permanent. GH with a sigh of relief as he says, I am still the IO King.
Still got it, boys.
KuroKy with a look of stern satisfaction.
Nigma Galaxy.
Are they back? Are they officially back?